Kuzazangpola, the World Bank, in partnership with the Ministry of Finance, has just released the Spring 2025 Bhutan Development Update. At a high level event held at Namgi Heritage Hotel, officials and experts gathered to unpack the national's economic outlook with a sharp focus on migration, one of the Bhutan's most pressing demographic shifts.
So, our report, the Bhutan Development Update, indicates very clearly that there is this recent phenomenon of outmigration and that the people who are leaving Bhutan are the most educated and the most skilled. So, this is a classic case of what we call brain drain. This is worrisome because these are the skills of the future. These are the people who are going to inject vibrancy into the economy. In order to retain them, it's very important that there be good and interesting jobs for them, well paying jobs, but also jobs that are motivating. And what we note in this country is that the private sector is the source of these jobs. And in Bhutan, there are too many restrictions on private sector growth. We're hearing a lot about regulatory barriers, access to finance, lack of diversification, very, very small role of FDI, foreign direct investment. And yet we know that foreign direct investment brings in not only capital, but also innovation, technology, and new know how. So, what we are proposing, and this is very much in conversation with the government of Bhutan, and I think they fully agree, is that the real game changer here in this country would be unleashing private sector.
This edition of the BDU, titled Bridging the Future, Addressing Challenges and Harnessing Opportunities of Migration, reviewed recent economic trends and examined the drivers, challenges, and opportunities associated with internal and international migration.
Yeah, some of the key findings from our study include economic factors being or playing a major role in driving migration outside Bhutan. So, Bhutanese youth are attracted by the prospects of higher earnings and better educational opportunities abroad compared to in Bhutan. I wanted to note something that when before moving overseas, before moving to the destination country, Australia, for example, the migrants were already earning substantially higher compared to the average person in the working age population in Bhutan. For example, over 60% of the migrants were earning over 30,000 newtons before they left Bhutan, compared to a substantially lower percentage of the working age population that was earning 30,000 newton. One Another key finding from the study is that Bhutanese migrants are willing to return to the country, but there's some condition. One important consideration is the income they expect to earn when they come back.
During the event, the World Bank presented its key findings, which sparked thoughtful discussions around Bhutan's priorities, including sustaining growth, managing e-migration, promoting private sector development, and potentially encouraging the return of overseas Bhutanese. The report highlights both the challenges and untapped potential surrounding.
Basically, see, what I talked during the panel discussion was regarding financing to the agriculture sector. Now, for me as an employee of BNB, our agriculture sector exposure is very low, less than 1%. But when it comes to exposures of other banks, I think BTPL has one of the highest exposures in the agriculture sector. But all said and done, our NPL in the agriculture sector is very high, way higher than the expected levels of maintaining it below 5%. So because of that, almost all the banks are wary of venturing into agriculture. So when the NPL's levels are that high, it doesn't make sense for us to give more loans to recover what is already given. It's like, putting more money where already whatever we have given has already gone bad. That's why I said most of the banks are not very willing to venture into the agriculture sector, especially considering the fact that the agricultural sector consists of small holdings, all small farmers, and the market for agricultural produce is not consistent. Like what happens is whenever the farmers come out with chilies, it all comes out at the same time together. Everybody comes out with chilies, and there are no purchases at the same time. Especially when the rates they put on their produce is so high, citing organic sources, lo yalo malo silabbe. So that's why banks usually want to lend out to a person who is able to pay their EMIs.
Bhutan's economic growth and migration trends. As the policymakers and development partners reflect on these findings, the discussion now turns to how best to shape policies that are inclusive, future ready, and grounded in data. This is Ishidolma for Bhutan Today News.